What's up, everybody? When it comes to recommending vehicles, I have not recommended any other vehicle more than I have the CX5. Why is that? I'll get to that in this video. But what we have here is the 2025 Mazda CX5, and this is the Carbon Edition, and it's going to come only in this polymetal gray. You can get the red interior seats or black if that's what you choose. And I think this is one of the best values in the Mazda CX5 lineup. So this one isn't a fully optioned out. So this is why I say it's the best value. The MSRP is going to be $34,600. It's going to be with a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter engine with 187 horsepower, 185 pound-feet of torque. It's going to be mated to a 6-speed automatic. All-wheel drive is standard. And this is just a nice total package. And the average fuel economy is going to be 26 in the city, 30 in the highway. I'm averaging 25. And that's with a lot of highway driving. So you're going to notice we got our black wheels, black mirror caps, and this polymetal gray has like a blue hue to it, and it's got some flake underneath it as well. I've been collecting all the Mazdas to review like they were some kind of chaos emerald. Q, that's chaotic, you might say. No pun intended. Actually, that was it wasn't even a well thought out pun, but it was a corny pun. But with this one right here being the last Mazda to review, I think it's one of the best and most important ones, because I recently had the Mazda CX-70 and CX-50. Now, don't confuse this with the CX-50 because they look very similar, but the main difference is the rugged looking appearance. The CX-50 sits a little bit higher, so you're going to have more ground clearance with that. But all these Mazdas, I believe they have phenomenal styling inside and outside, and the interior is premium. But let's take a look around it real quick. Just looking at the CX-50, you can tell why it's Mazda's best sellers, and it drives great too. You used to be able to get a manual transmission with these when they have 19-inch wheels, which don't even look like 19. Man, wheels is just, I don't know. This is the new normal, but I do not mind. So coming along to the back, got dual exhaust down there. Let's open up the trunk. The press of this button right underneath the Mazda logo. Stand back, comes on up. We have a pretty spacious trunk. I got a couple backpacks back here. A little bit of extra space on the side. We can fold the seats in front of us should we choose to. 60/40. Up under here, we do have a spare tire, which looks to be kind of full enough. Opening the rear door. These doors open very wide, so you won't have any problems getting up in here. Fold these seats back. They are not power in this model, so getting up in here is not a huge task at all. And sitting behind myself at 6 feet tall, my knees barely touch the front seats. They have this indentation in the front seats to let me get up in here. We do have vents in the center console. Gonna have, the floor is gonna have my phone. Got a couple cup holders, can hold a phone in the slit. And then we have this compartment that opens with two USB-A charging ports. So that was something thoughtful by Mazda, to separate the two passengers with the chargers in there. If you don't have a third passenger, that's cool. But got a bunch of headroom back here. Got about 3 to 4 inches of headroom above my head. I didn't whop my head coming up into this back seat. So let's move on up to the front. To unlock or lock the car, press this little rubber button. It was already unlocked. But these seats, my goodness, extremely comfortable, plush, cushy. Nothing better than having a seat like this on the long road trips. And inside we're going to see red stitching here and there. Got a Bose audio system, which sounds great. So Mazda's more upscale. This isn't your standard regular mainstream vehicle. I think it's a notch above them, maybe a couple notches. Leather wrapped everything. And even for those, the Al Bundy position, like we got leather wrapped right here. And then it gets cushy. Got some squish to it right there on the soft touch leather. Looking around the interior, this rearview mirror looks kind of outdated with the plastics around. I know a lot of manufacturers are doing rimless, and maybe even the CX-70s are the higher trims, but I'm not sure. It does have HomeLink though. We do have a sunroof. We have a wireless charger down there, which I think is terribly designed. We don't have a lot of lip to keep the phone in place because it is at an angle to charge. So with my phone right here, and these iPhone 16 has the cameras that bulges out, so it's easy to lose balance and it will fall off the charger. And even when it's on the charger, it's not good for anything but making my phone hot and not charging it. We got a DC outlet down there. couple USB-C chargers and another DC outlet in the armrest. And this has got some nice squish to it. Our multi-function controller, which is seamless. We do have touchscreen as long as you use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I noticed with the volume knob, on other models you can move it to the left and right to skip track. I'll be tearing that button up, skip track button, but you will have to use it on the steering wheel, which these buttons feel much better than my Miata. They're flimsy in my Miata, and here they feel right. Speaking of my Miata, I was able to haul all 4 wheels in the trunk area of my Miata with no tires on them, but I got those installed while I had the CX5 for this week, and it made that just simple, a cinch. The dash is analog and digital. The only thing digital is the gauge on the right side, which you can only change a couple different options on there. The shade for the sunroof is kind of flimsy, feels a little bit on the cheap side, there's not a lot of weight to it. But everything else in this interior has a great solid feel. Buttons feel great. We do have heated seats in here. We do have physical buttons for our heating controls. Our gear selector does have a manual mode, which a lot of people like it when plus is down and minus is up. What about when you shift from second to third? That's a forward moving gear, so I don't know. I honestly don't care. It's automatic. And then we have our drive select mode right here, our sport mode. All right, let's go ahead and start it up. It's getting hot sitting in here. It's going to be 99 degrees today, so need the air. And then we're going to buckle up. So we won't be using the binaural audio because the battery died. I literally just changed these batteries a few videos ago. They last for like a year, but on to the drive. The moon simulator is almost complete. They got a new roll here, so we should be good. So test a little bit of the bumpiness coming on out here. We're going to go on to test our turning radius because this is a daily driver, so you got to do daily driver things. Maneuvering and parking is one of those. So this Carbon Edition doesn't have a 360-degree camera. I noticed, at least in the CX5, that you can get that as an option, as well as a panel roof, but this is a more value-friendly version of this car, which is a stupendous deal. So what I'm gonna do is lock the steering wheel all the way, see if we can make this maneuver in this parking lot. Oh, that was a little bit wider than I expected, but we did make it through our maneuver. But I don't think it is the tightest steering radius. It's good, but not the best. And then look out for a hybrid version of this coming. So they do have a hybrid version of the CX70 that's going to be made into Toyota's hybrid powertrain, but for the next generation CX5, Mazda will be having their own in-house hybrid system. So I'm looking forward to see what that's like. Super comfortable ride, relatively quiet on the interior. All you hear is the engine really. Coming up on the Big Dipper. Did pretty good over that. Let's knock it up to sport mode. Not to say that I know I'm just not going to be impressed. Well, I'm gonna let you know that you're not going to be impressed with the 0 to 60. I'm just gonna floor it. Slow it down, merge on the highway. Sport mode is going to hold the revs up, so if I want to merge into traffic like so, I should be in the power band. It'll get you there. It's not blistering quick, but this isn't meant for that. But we do have a powertrain that is. There's a turbo version of this, which is going to cost a few $1,000s more. So that one's going to have 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. Let me turn that out of sport modes. No need to be revving up that high, just cruising.
Vehicle on shoulder ahead.
It does have adaptive cruise control. Let me set that and demonstrate real quick. So just press the set button. It's going to do its thing. Let me see what we got. Our distance set for the furthest. So thankfully this car is getting in front of us now, and we should see it slow down. It's actually hitting on brakes. Let me set that for a closer following distance. and they got us doing 70. So it does what it's intended to do. So let me turn that off. What I did notice that we don't have is a head-up display. I'm not sure if that's going to be on the higher trims or not, but just an observation, we do have just this analog speedometer down there. But cruising on the highway, gonna do quite well. Just a comfortable, very nice to be sitting in. Every touch point is super soft in here. So why do I recommend these to everybody? It's a few different reasons, but mainly the styling. It looks phenomenal. It has a simple powertrain. It handles phenomenally, which I'm going to demonstrate in just a moment here. And is relatively good on gas. Has a simple transmission with the 6-speed when everybody else is at 8 and 10 speeds, 9 speeds for some of these. Comes with enough features. I don't feel like I'm lacking anything. Sound system is great. Just a great place to be overall. And this one doesn't break the bank. And it's big enough. The back seat is large enough. The trunk is large enough. It just has everything that you would want in a daily driver. And it doesn't suck to drive. The off-the-line speed isn't going to be fast in the naturally aspirated version as this is. But once you step up to the turbo trims, it'll definitely pin you to the cushion. And other reasons to get these as well. The lease deals can be good depending on when you look for it. Financing is always good. They mostly have some kind of rebate or some kind of cash incentive to finance one of these. So it's money on the hood to be had on these. And you're not going to be like one of a million like the other mainstream players like the RAV4 or the CRVs. You'll be a little bit unique. So this is where I really love driving this. It's got handling feel, a whole lot of it, a ton of it. I feel like I can take any turn and feel all the feedback. And this steering in here is actually better than my Miata. I need whatever they did to program this steering rack, I need that in the Miata because the steering feel on here is impeccable. So if you had to have like a family SUV that doesn't suck at driving, you want some handling, you live in some curvy roads, this will definitely be the one because I can guarantee you that its competitors doesn't have any steering feel. All right, let's give it one last final hurrah. This hat is about to come up off my head. And did my head grow larger too? Gut growing, head growing. It's all bad out here for a pimp. Let's enter onto the highway once again. Final little curvy curve. Steering feel is just impeccable. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the 2025 Mazda CX5. We're probably gonna smoke this Mercedes because my goodness, they ain't got no handling up in there. That's what I mean. Your car doesn't feel secure when you handle. Because this car, I could have took this triple the speed they're going. Well, actually not triple, but that would have been 120. But yeah, they dilly-dallying around. Pedal to the floor. No road raging in here because you don't go past people fast enough. But you just look at them. Your car don't handle. Mine does. But that's all I gotta say on the 2025 CX5. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to drive safe out here. And I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, thanks, bye.